What's going on, Master Duel fans? James here again. Side B, aka Synchros, completed. Most cases, White Forest, Sky Striker. Now, I know everyone is going to ask, why are you playing the Sky Striker cards when they are being conflicted in terms of heavy monsters in the main monster zone and the links are banned? Obvious about it for the sake of this event. Well, basically, the idea is most of the time people are afraid of White Forest being Sylvie, Rusia, and Yelzets. Now they're going to be even more afraid whenever I have the Sky Striker Holy Trinity cards being the Engages, Field Spell, and the multi-roll comes up. If your opponent doesn't stop you from doing the most creative, wacky scenario plays, you are in a commanding position at that point. Plus, especially in this Fusion / Synchro Festival, not a whole lot of decks are main decking draw right now throughout this event. So, deck profile for you guys. White Forest, Sky Striker. And this is something you guys got to pay attention in terms of organizing the deck profile. I will be listing it White Forest, Sky Striker, non-engine, hand traps, and so on. So 4 different ways doing so. And traps, it's just 3 in perm, nothing more, nothing less. And then non-engine, you got Foolish Goods, Metaphor Fusion, 3 Golden Sword, 3 Cursed Sword, 1 Broken Sword, 1 Original Sword, 2 Forbidden Chalice, 1 Call by the Grave, and 1 Blizzard. For the Sky Striker cards, 1 Ray, 1 Rose, 3 Engage, Afterburner, Jamming Wave, 1 Area 0, 1 Multi-Roll. I already know for that fact that a lot of lists play only 2 to 3 of each in terms of excavation. Most likely 2 Field Spell and most likely 3 Multi-Roll just to see the increasing chances. It's good and all that, but at the same time, aside from searchable reasons or from Engage, but if you don't have any extra extenders to follow up, both of these cards suck and they stink so bad that you won't be able to get your excavation in terms of Hail Marys going. Like, Hail Mary into Engage all from 0 is beyond ridiculous, but at a very low chance if you don't get your setup going. But otherwise, 1 and 1 is normally the correct call for that matter. And then 2 Shark Cannon, 1 Eagle Booster to save your monster, and then 3 Widow Anchor. Now, I know most be thinking, why no Hornet Drones? First of all, if I ever recall Hornet Drones correctly in terms of the use of Hornet Drones for that matter, I believe it is because, going for the record there, you guys, it's a level 1. So we literally do not have easy access to odd number synchros. And then no Hercules base either, because without Kagari, we can't keep on constantly recycling cards so much. So I opted not to play Hercules base for that matter. And then the Spellbook of Judgment type effect off from multi-roll, that literally never comes up throughout the course of the matchups, because most of my games, players are refusing to play against this build because people won't expect me to have both White Forest and Sky Strikers going at the same time, which is ridiculous. And then White Forest cards, 3 Sylvie, 2 Rusia, 2 LZ White Forest, 1 LZ Azamina, Susurrus of the Sinful Spoils. The idea about Susurrus, to be specific, is that if your opponent has a Bestial or even hand traps that targets. You can basically chain the Susurus just to make sure your illusion or spellcaster not only gets kicked back to the extra deck, and it's just so that you're able to special that monster. So not only you get your illusion / spellcaster effects going off in terms of hand traps, but such hand traps like DD Crow, Valor, Imperm, and Bestials. So for those who want to hand trap me, those hand traps are not enough. One Woes, and then Azamina Apes. The idea about Apes is the more White Forest or even spellcasters, synchros to be specific, and the illusion of Diabel, the more spellcaster synchros you have, the more cards you get to compulse. And it makes it so that obviously Sylvie can search this out and then you're able to reset it all from the White Forest cards. And then extra deck. Let's just get this out the way. Zoroa Synchro. If you're wondering about the spellcaster tuners to make the Zoroa Synchro, the Silvera and Ursula both are spellcaster tuners, and for the level 2 non-tuner being the LZs. For the sake of Zoroa Synchro. Zoroa Synchro hook up with the Awas in the back row, and it makes it so that if I expect to come across too many fusion decks, unless they find a way to get rid of Zoroa Synchro with the fusion, he'll be at 3,900 for starters because of the Awas boost, and no fusion effects are activated. I don't know why Zoroa Synchro is legal for this event specifically. There's no space for the Vram because extra deck spacing is way too tight. So we gotta limit our options for that matter. The Synchro tuners. Well, before we go any further, White Forest names: Diabel, Ursula, Silvera, nothing more, nothing less on White Forest synchros. And then Synchro tuners, courtesy of Diabel, Coral Dragon, for the sake of spot removal, and then Formula Synchron, for the sake of quick synchro. Orient Dragon. This card is a hot mess in terms of synchro matches. If I happen to play through Bait Negates, generic 6, who has the ability to first chance it gets synchro summon, target one synchro monster your opponent controls, banish it. This could be one of those insane outs to certain synchros or having a very hard time dealing with throughout the progression of the board state. Vulcan the Divine card is nice in terms of bouncing monsters. And once bouncing those monsters, based off from the targets that you bounced or kit back, those cards cannot trigger within that name throughout this whole entire turn, all from Vulcan's effect. HTS Psyhemoth. This card is absolutely crazy because anything they put up with that says can't be targeted or can't be killed by effects, HTS Psyhemoth literally doesn't care because he can just outright banish non-targeting, non-destruction monsters and you're able to push forward, which is also insane. Metaphys Horus, this card is nice. Most of the times is where if I was to put up a synchro summon of Metaphys Horus, the idea is to turn off a face-up floodgate of sorts so you can keep on playing through. Scrap Dragon for the sake of removal. Dragite for the Spell Trap Negate. If you're wondering on how to access the Spell Trap Negate with a Water in the Grave, that will be Coral Dragon doing so. Draco Berserker, this card kills people. And Crimson Blader, this card's absolutely crazy because locking your opponent out in terms of specialing level 5 or higher, they cannot fuse or synchro in terms of level 5 or higher any further. And this has been James Polk with the unique deck profile of White Forest Sky Striker. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Smash the notification bell to keep yourself constantly updated. And if you are a brand new or returning player from Master Duel after 1 full month of missing gameplay, be sure to use my campaign code in the description below so we can gather the prizes and content from campaign code. Catch you guys next time.